At 35, my mother had 3 children, and I am talking to myself to a camera. This does not bode well for us, does it? It'll be fine. I wonder if it's too late to lie and say I'm turning 25. I don't know. So I think I just have really good taste. Whose idea was this again? Now that I'm thinking about the fact that my therapist suggested this, halfway there, baby. It's making me question everything. I promise I'm awake. Maybe I shouldn't have done this. Living my best life. I have no complaints.
My brain may not be working, but I'm reading.
Not reading, not talking. Just sitting here with a camera on my face while I yawn. Welcome back to my channel. I am so excited for this video. I'm also terrified. This month is my birthday, and I am turning 35. I don't know how that happened. So in the comments, let me know how good I look for my age, please and thank you. Anyway, this idea was actually my lovely therapist's. She came up with this idea, she told me about it, and I was like, brilliant, brilliant, unhealthy, frightening, but a brilliant idea. So here's what we're gonna do. For my 35th birthday, I am going to read for 35 hours straight, hopefully. I am going to be starting a timer. Ironically, iPhone timers don't actually go up to 35 hours. So that's fun. So we're gonna have to do 2 separate timers. I'm going to see how much reading I can get done in that time. Now we all know that I have failed almost every 24-hour challenge that I have done, and I usually fall asleep at some point. That may happen, as I just discussed. I'm old. I wonder if it's too late to lie and say I'm turning 25. I wonder if anyone would believe that. It's fine. It's all fine. Now that I'm thinking about the fact that my therapist suggested this, and this is like the most unhealthy challenge. What was she thinking? I mean, she's there for my mental health, not my physical health, but like, come on. Anyway, I'm excited. I am excited. I am excited. I do have some time off from work. The perfect time to get this done. And we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Will I be a puddle on the floor by the end of this? Just... Only time will tell. 35 hours of time. 35! Oh my god. Okay. Okay, so here's the deal. I was gonna do like a very specific TBR for this. Then I was thinking maybe I'll just like use my May TBR for this, but I decided, here's what I decided. I decided, wouldn't it be fun if I did some rereading of some of my favorite books? Because I never do that. I never reread books. I feel like I'm not allowed because it takes away from time that I could spend reading new books. And I think about all the time that we are all gonna die one day, and there is not enough time in our lives to read all the books we want to. So that prevents me from rereading favorites. But that's silly. So it's time. It's time to do some rereading. I picked out a couple of books that I loved last year. I tried to vary the genres. So I picked out Powerless, which I want to reread anyway because the second book is coming out in like a month, I think. And I really enjoyed this one and I want to reread it. I've been thinking about it a lot lately. I picked out Heartless by Elsie Silver. This is just representing that. This is my second favorite in the series. Heartless is currently living with my mother. I think she's actually reading it right now, but I have it on my Kindle, so I will reread Heartless on there. And then All the Sinners Bleed. I loved this book last year, like loved it, and I really want to reread it. Those are the ones that are recent books that I recently finished that I would love to get to, but then I decided to go back into like the depths, into like the old books that I consider favorites that I've never ever reread, which is crazy. Unpopular opinion, but my favorite Tessa Bailey is My Killer Vacation. I know. First it was Fixer Up, then it was It Happened One Summer, and then this just was the most fun, ridiculous time that I've ever had, and I loved it. And I would love to reread it. I would love to reread it. Also, The Unhoneymooners, I say all the time, is one of my favorite rom-coms. ever, but I've never reread it. And I read it so long ago. Like, when did this come out? What year? Where are you from, sir? 2019. So this is like pre-COVID Caitlin. This is like pre-world shutting down Caitlin. This was like 30-year-old Caitlin. I need to reread it and I need to verify my feelings on it. And I'm excited to do so. And then for thrillers, my favorite, or what I consider my favorite, Riley Sager, Lock Every Door. I have recommended this to almost every person in my life. I have lent it out a million times, as you can see by the state of it, but I've never reread it myself, and I want to, so I'm going to, I think. And then also, In My Dreams I Hold a Knife, which I consider one of my favorite thrillers as well. Yeah, 2021, this one came out. I've always wanted to reread it, so we're going to, I think. I say I think because I don't know how many of these I'm gonna get to. I don't know how many books one can read in 35 hours. I actually honestly don't know. And I may get bored of rereading and decide to go to a new TBR. You know what I mean? So then we have Illuminae by Jay Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. I read this book probably in like 2016, I wanna say. Like, it came out in 2015. I think I read it when Gemini was already out, right when I first discovered BookTube, and people were talking about this series a lot, and I loved it. It's mixed media, it's a sci-fi, which who knew I could enjoy, but I did. It's like the craziest redacted articles, and like some pages only have like a word or two. It's so fun. I think about it all the time. Never reread it. It was a perfect time. And then finally, for my rereads, I picked up Nevernight, which also, ironically, just realized is also by Jay Kristoff. Who knew? This was one of my favorite fantasies I'd ever read, and it was probably one of the first, it might even have been the first adult fantasy that I ever read. And it like blew my mind, and I didn't so much love the rest of the series, but this one in particular I have such fond memories of, and I want to get in this world again. So I think I'm going to. I think I may get bored with rereading. I'm a Gemini. We change our moods really often, pretty much constantly. I don't know if I'm still gonna be wanting to reread in a few hours from now. So just in case, I've got backup. We've got some new releases sitting here waiting for us. So these are options as well. But for now, we are gonna stick with the rereads, and we're gonna see how this goes. It is currently 1:23 p.m. If I do this straight without stopping, then tomorrow, which would really be 2 days from now, at 1:23 a.m., I'd be finished. Right? This only goes up to 23 hours. What we're gonna do is we're gonna divide it in half, I think. All right, so the first timer is gonna be 18 hours, and the second one is going to be 17 hours. Now, where am I gonna start? I didn't even think about this. Should we spin a wheel? Should we? Give me a wheel, y'all. It's so funny to me that I used to do spinning a wheel was part of like the theme of the videos back in the day. And now I just do it for every single decision I ever have to make. So it's like not even the main focus of the video. You know what I mean? Illuminae, Nevernight, Wish I Could Spell, My Killer Vacation. Oops, I hit spin without screen recording. Oopsie daisy. What's it say? In My Dreams I Hold a Knife. Okay. Okay. So we are going to start with In My Dreams I Hold a Knife. Should we start the reread at 1:30? That feels right. I'm so stressed, y'all. We're gonna put 18 hours on the clock. This is part 1. Is my math right? 1:30 now, 1:30 tomorrow. That's 24 hours. 1:30 p.m. So then 1:30 a.m. would be 36 hours. So it'll be 12:30, I think. All right, so this is what we're starting with. Let's do this. Ready? It's happening. Let's go read.
I complicate things. One of my many skills. I'm making things up, all in my mind, 'cause I analyze their body language. I hear every change in their tone. Maybe they hate me, somehow I blame me. My mama said, that's just the weight of the world. It's not personal, it's just how it works. Don't be angry
What's up?
I look like I've been
Sleeping, but I have not. I almost did. I literally almost fell asleep, and I had to actually like stand up and take a lap in order to like reinvigorate myself. How is it that I can drink an energy drink? And like I had coffee today too, and I slept a lot last night. Like I extra slept in preparation for this, and I'm still like nodding off like 50 pages into every book. So it's about 4 hours in, and I have finished In My Dreams I Hold a Night. Still a 5-star. I was right. It's a good book. I have no regrets on my original rating. I have no regrets on my original rating, like at all. It's so good. The way it like genre bends a little bit, the way there's like a love story, and also it's just so relatable. Like having, I mean, I feel like everybody can relate to having your like college group of friends, but also like the sorority, fraternity of it all and the relationships. And I mean, now being an adult, going back and wanting everyone to like think you're successful, you know, it's just like, it's a relatable character. As much as she's kind of like unlikable, she's relatable. It's like, it's a page turner. And the last line, I'm not going to say it because this is a spoiler-free vlog, but if you have the book, if you own the book, if you've read the book, the very last line gets me every time. It's like one of the best final lines of a book I've read ever. It's good. It's so good. So let's decide what we're going to do next. I think I'm going to do another reread because I'm enjoying rereading, honestly. And so far I don't feel like super guilty about it, which is usually my issue. You know what? I think I'm gonna go with Illuminae. I'm not gonna spin a wheel. I think that's what I want. It's definitely the biggest one, but like I think it's the book that I read the longest ago. So I think it's gonna be the most fun to like revisit. So I think I'm gonna do that next. I'm excited. I'm excited. So I'm gonna get started on book number 2. So far so good, aside from my sleepy eyes.
Can we talk about how I forgot how much this book dealt with the topic of an epidemic, and it's forcing them to quarantine, and now there's this like flyer saying always wear your face mask, wash your hands. Like, this book was written, what did I say, 5 years before? Yeah, 2015. 5 years before COVID. How cool is that? It's literally telling the future. Crazy. Also, I still have 13 hours to go, and I'm on page 149, and I'm having so much fun with this. So much fun. But I can't believe how prolific it is. Prolific? No, that's not the word. What's the word? When you're like seeing into the future? Prophesized? No, I don't know. I can't think of it right now. I forgot, like, all the quarantine epidemic shit that's in here is so interesting. So interesting. It's like, it's also talking about the virus is airborne and it affects elderly and the frail, but there's no guarantee against reinfection. And this would suggest the virus is mutagenic in nature, because normally once an immune system fights off the incursion, antibodies would prevent reinfection by the same pathogen. The fact that this book was written 5 years before our pandemic is just crazy. Crazy, crazy. How cool is this book? How cool.
That's just the weight of the world. It's not personal, it's
We finished Illuminae and we got comfy. And that's my update. So we're 2 books in, which is excellent. Now we gotta decide what to do next. I don't know. I'm definitely gonna save Heartless for, I think, next, because I'll probably want to get in bed and use my Kindle. So I think for now, because I'm not quite at that, like, I need to get in bed stage yet. So I'm kind of between, I feel like I should do a romance because I've done sci-fi and I've done thriller. I'm kind of between these 3. And all I know is that I need something that's gonna be like quick and hooking my attention, which is probably the thriller. Decisions are hard, man. You know what? We're gonna go on Honeymooners. We're gonna do a romance because we've done the other 2 genres already. This will be quick and cute, and then we'll see where we go from there. That's the plan. I'm gonna go read this. Woo! I think I'm like 7 hours in? Yeah, I think so. Time to start this one. After I turned off the camera, I realized I didn't even tell you what I thought of Illuminae. Not that I really needed to, but 5 freaking stars. That book is just as good as I remember it. It's so witty and sarcastic and silly, and it's definitely young adult, so like that's part of it, but it's also like creepy and like exciting and enticing, and the multimedia of it just makes it so much better. Like, it's so entertaining. I forgot how cute and like bantery the female main character and the male main character are, Katie and Ezra. Their like banter is so funny. They're basically telling the story of what happened. So like their planet that they were living on, I think it's a planet, was attacked by this like biotech company, and they fled, but that same day they had broken up. Katie broke up with Ezra because they were basically fighting over like their college plans and future and stuff. Then all of a sudden the planet gets attacked. They flee together. They end up on separate ships, but like both fleeing from this company that's attacking them. They slowly start communicating via like instant messenger sort of and emails because they just broke up. Like, they clearly are like bickering and fighting, but like at the same time it's clear they're like still in love with each other for sure. And it gets cuter and cuter and cuter, but meanwhile there's like so many devastating things happening and going on, and like they're literally, their lives and everyone they know's lives are at stake the entire book. And it's so good. I actually really think that part of the reason why I'm having trouble picking my next book is because like I kind of want to read book 2, Gemina, kind of. That might go on my TBR next month, because honestly I was just having so much fun. But anyway, it was so good. It was so good. It was just as good as I remember. I'm so glad I reread it. I can't believe it took me like 8 years. Wait, 8 years? Is that right? 2016 and it's 2024. I read that 8 years ago. That's freaking insane. When I read that, I was in my 20s. See, we're all coming full circle with this birthday vlog. This is all coming full circle. I was in my 20s when I read that. That's crazy. Anyway, just as good as I remember. And now we're gonna see if the Unhoneymooners can live up to my memories. So far, everything is. So I think I just have really good taste. All right, I'm gonna read. We're not even that deep into this and I'm already getting a little loopy. This does not bode well for us, does it? All right, let's go. Let's read. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Hey, I hope you're doing well. I know it's been a while, but you're still in my head. I wonder if you think about me now and then, like I do right now about you. I wish it didn't have to end, but life is what it is and I will try to mend. Though I'm kinda hoping that you feel the same as I do right now, right now. Tell me now, 'cause I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I just wanna be right next to you, even though
I'm sleepy. We are halfway through the first half of this readathon. So I don't know what that means, because I feel like it's been successful so far. I just finished my 3rd book. I'm ready to keep reading for sure, but I also feel like, how am I only 9 hours in? Like, how is that a thing? And how many more do I have? 24 more hours. Is that right? Yes. No. No, 26. 26 more hours. We're only 9 hours in and I look like this right now. So this is 35. I need to pick a new book. I'm thinking I might try Powerless, but I'm also thinking this might not be a good idea because I feel like this is gonna take some brain power. But I'm either gonna do this one or maybe Heartless on my Kindle, but I'm worried if I turn the light off and read my Kindle, then I'm gonna fall asleep. Even though I'm not tired and I just finished my like second energy drink. So right now I'm not tired, but also like it is 1:30 in the morning. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take this and my Kindle and go curl up in bed and hopefully finish another book. My goal, my hope, my plan is to try and make it through the next 8 hours without sleeping. And then if I can do that, I am over halfway through and then I can take like a wee, quickie little nap, wake up, shower, refresh, and then do the second half. So that's the plan. That's the plan. That's the plan. As far as the unhoneymooners go, this one was fun, but I don't want to say it was a letdown, but it was not everything I remembered and more. I don't know, maybe romances don't age the same way other books do, and like maybe the second time reading them, it doesn't hit as hard. I don't know. I also read this a long time ago. When did this come out? Let's say 2019. So I read this like 5 years ago. I do think that it's still my favorite Christina Lauren book. I stand by that. But is it the best romance ever? No. And something I didn't even remember about it is not dual perspectives. And I've said this in literally almost every vlog where I've ever read a romance, but like, I feel like it's so key to have both sides of the story for me to enjoy it like fully. Is that just me? I don't know. But like, I feel like I would have gotten more out of this if we got Ethan's perspective. That being said, it was still super cute. But like now having read 5 more years worth of romances, like, is this still gonna stand as like one of my favorite of all times? I don't know. I don't know. It's making me question everything. Maybe I shouldn't have done this. It was still good. Like if I was reading this the first time now, I would probably give it 4 stars because I think it was a little bit of an insta-lovey. Not really, because like kind of enemies to lovers and it's fake marriage are the tropes, but like we're dealing with a couple getting married, the bride's twin sister and the groom's older brother are like basically sent on their honeymoon when everybody in the wedding party gets sick. So they take the honeymoon instead. And they hate each other. And they've hated each other since they met. But really, Ethan never hated her. And she just thought he hated her. And so she hated him because she thought he hated her. They never hated each other. So it's not insta-love necessarily, but it does feel like they go from like fighting to all of a sudden being like, I really like you. Let's date. Like immediate. I don't know. It was a little bit insta-y, but it was still really cute. It was still really cute. It just, I think, doesn't hit as hard this time around. So I think it's more of a 4 than a 5 star. I think I'm gonna go take my makeup off and get in bed. I would love to put Heartless on my Kindle and turn the lights off, but I'm worried that will make me fall asleep. So I might try this first. Right now we're halfway of halfway. So a quarter of the way through. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get cozier than I was on the couch. And we're gonna read more again. Who's having fun? Just me? Okay, bye.
Feel
This is the angle everyone's been asking for. Show me a 35-year-old in bed with all of her chins. Not 35 yet. 34 and 360 days? Something like that? Listen, I have good news and bad news. The good news is I have 2 hours left of part 1 of this video. So 2 hours until we reset the clock for 17 more hours. And the other good news is I finished Powerless. And it was better than I remember it, honestly. I think I gave it 4 stars the first time, and I feel like it's closer to a 5. I don't know. It definitely is the book that has taken me the longest to read, and it might just be because my brain was like shutting down all night. It might be because I started it at 3 in the morning, it felt like. Was it 3 in the morning? I don't even remember. That might be why it took me so long to read it, but I did finish it. And then I took a wee little snooze. So I paused the timer and I slept for like 2 hours, which honestly, I needed it. And now I feel ready to tackle the day. So when I woke up, I downloaded Heartless and I started that on 33% of the way through that. So things are going as good as can be expected. I just made a coffee. 16 hours in, things are going well. I read 4 books. My brain may not be working, but I'm reading. I'm gonna finish my coffee, get in the shower, get ready for the day while the timer is paused, and then we'll get back to it. That's my update. This is gonna be so fun to edit because I'm not gonna like any of this footage without makeup on in these angles. All right, I'll see you when I don't look like this anymore. If I stand, wait, like this, it looks like I have those horns, like. Anyway, I finished Heartless. That book is so freaking good. It was so fun to revisit, especially because I have just read and loved Wild Love. And Wild Love is about the brother of the main character in Heartless. So like it was so fun to go back and see like her like drop hints and names and talk about him. But some of the, like I forgot how much I love Cade. I didn't forget. I knew how much I love Cade. He's actually freaking amazing. He's so grumpy. It's so great. I will say, it's been a while since I read it. I forgot how freaking raunchy some of it is. Like, I was scandalized. I've said this before, but like when it comes to romance books, like I skim so much of the like steamy scenes that like by the time I finish the book, they're like completely out of my head. Like I'm not thinking about them. So when I talk about them, when I recommend them to people, like I completely forget which ones are spicy and which ones aren't. And it's funny because as I was reading this, I was like blushing because I lent the first book and then this book to my mom. And I'm pretty sure she's reading Reckless right now. She's probably almost done with it. And so the whole time I was like, oh my God, I need to call mom and apologize because like I forgot how like some of the sex scenes are whew. But aside from that, it was so good. It was so good. 5 stars, again, can't beat it. Also, the timer ran out when I had like, I don't know, 10 minutes left of the book. Like I was like trying so hard to like hit it right at the timer. So now we're in 10-ish minutes into part 2 of this readathon. But I reset the timer for 17 minutes. Did I say 17 minutes? 17 hours. Halfway through and we've read 5 books. Not too shabby. They're behind me. That's why I'm looking over there. I think I want something quick and easy right now. So I think I'm gonna go with My Killer Vacation. This is literally like 250 pages, I think. It's so short and it's gonna be fun, I think. I hope. So I'm gonna read this one next and yeah, 17 hours to go. Woo! Halfway there, baby. Halfway there. I promise I'm awake. My contacts are just super dry. Hi! Doing great. We're doing great. We're doing so well. You know what I was thinking about? You know those like memes or jokes or whatever when people are like, at my age, my mom was like doing this, this, and this, owned a house, whatever, and like here I am doing what I'm doing. And I was thinking about that because like, okay, so this is all for my 35th birthday, this vlog. And at 35, my mother had 3 children, a house, a husband, a career, and I am talking to myself, to a camera, and filming myself reading, trying to stay awake for 35 hours. Like, do you think if somebody had told her when she was my age, like, you know, your oldest daughter, when she's 35, this is what she's gonna be doing, you think she'd be proud? Do you think she'd be proud? Or do you think she'd be like, what the actual fuck? Silly, it's so silly. Anyway, living my best life. I really am. I have no complaints other than like, I look tired. Where are we? We have 14-ish hours to go. I finished My Killer Vacation, and this is just, it's just straight cheese, and I loved it. It's cheesy, funny, silly, good time. It's exactly what I remember it being, and I stand by my rating of 5 stars. I do. I truly do. I will say, and maybe it's because I read 3 romances in a row, and maybe that was not wise, but I'm definitely getting a little tired of rereading. I might have to switch to some books I haven't read before because I am getting like a little bored of the rereading. But that also could be because I read 3 romances pretty much back to back. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna read Lock Every Door. I'm gonna reread this now. I think this will go quickly, and I think this will be super fun because, like I said, I've lent it to every person in my entire life, but I've never reread it myself. And I always claim that this is like my favorite Riley Sager. But like, is it? Is it still? Does it hold up? I don't know. So this is what I'm gonna do next. And then I don't know, maybe for like the final hours after this one, maybe I will start some new books. We'll see. We'll think about that. Also, because of the pausing that I've done for my little nap and my little shower and things like that, I am now at, what does it say, 5:47 is when this says I'll be done. So I'm gonna have to pull an all-nighter again. And that's the thing with like trying to do it straight and like using a timer and like pausing and stuff, like you basically end up pulling more all-nighters than you would if you just did it straight without pausing. Obviously. Like that doesn't make any sense, does it? What am I trying to say? If I had read 35 hours in a row without stopping, which obviously clearly I was not capable of because I needed to take a nap and I needed to shower. But if I hadn't paused the timer, I'd be done at 1:30 a.m. and then I would have only stayed up a full 1 night. But now I'm staying up 2 nights because of my little break. So really, I'm basically doing like a 48-hour readathon. Does any of this make sense? Why am I trying to do math right now and numbers? I don't know. I'm wasting too much time. I'm gonna go read Lock Every Door. I'm excited. This book is probably the most well-loved book that I own. Like, it's actually crazy. Look at how filthy this book is. Anybody I lent this book to? Heathens. Heathens for this. I'm excited. I'm nervous. I'm excited and nervous. And also scared I'm gonna sleep. So don't let me sleep. Don't let me sleep. All right, let's go. Finished another one. 7th book. How is she doing it? No, seriously, I don't know. I will say, I think a huge part of why this is going so easily and so quickly is that I'm rereading, because I feel like it's taking me less time to read each book, which is why I've completed so many. So like, I'm not like super impressed with myself because they're rereads, so I don't have to like read them quite as carefully as I would if they were new books. Anyway, another one done. I'm thinking now, let's see, I've got 11 hours. You can't see that. So why do I even show you? Got 11 hours left, and I kind of am in the mood to read something I've never read before. This was good, but again, I was sort of bored because like I think I'm just done rereading. I think that's what it comes down to. Like, it's not that I didn't enjoy it. It's just like I need a new story, I think. So I don't know what I'm gonna read next. I really don't. And I don't want to take forever like deciding because we have to get reading. You know what I mean? I don't know what I'm in the mood for. I feel like the best bet would be a thriller. I have 11 hours left. So that is like 2 to 3 books, right? So I think for the last 2 to 3 books, I'm gonna read new books. Because I think the rereading was fun. I got through 7 of the 9 that I had. Way more than I expected. But now I need some new stories, I think. So I think that's how we're gonna end this whole readathon. Also, I think I need an energy drink. Because like the last time I had a coffee was at 3 and it's 7. So you were balanced so precariously. Like, you may fall. I'm going to start this one. Mainly because it was on the top of the pile. And I feel like a thriller is a good idea. Although I am a little nervous because I feel like it's very similar to Lock Every Door. I don't know what this is about other than it's about an apartment building in Manhattan, which is basically what Lock Every Door was about. But I've been like dying to get to this. I feel like it'll be quick. It's time for energy because I have like 11 more hours. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. I'm up. I'm ready. Let's do this. Okay, I just read the first chapter. It's feeling very Lock Every Door. I mean, obviously there's major differences. We're following a main character who is married and has a career in writing, publishing. She writes true crime books. Her second book is a book about this apartment building in Manhattan that is known for having very infamous, famous residents, including an author and an actress, which is also in Lock Every Door. But it's also known for all of the tragedies that have happened in this building. Apparently there's been tons of murder and suicide and other things happening in the building. She has access to it because her husband's uncle lived there, or I think just died there, and so they're cleaning out his apartment. So she's writing this book. So obviously it's different than an apartment sitter, but the building itself and the residents there sound very similar to Lock Every Door. This is going to be very hard not to compare it the entire time, having just read that. Also, at the end of chapter 1, and I don't think this is a spoiler, but there's an accident that happens outside on Manhattan's busy streets on Broadway, right outside the restaurant that they're sitting in, her and her editor. And somebody gets hit by a cab, I think, a biker, and he smacks the windshield. He lands all mangled and he is dead immediately. And she's watching this through the window, and she talks about how, like, after he's removed and everything, somebody from the restaurant goes outside with a bucket of water, pours it over where the blood was, and like everybody just moves on, traffic keeps going, like, and it's super eerie, but it's very, very, very familiar because that is Manhattan. Like, it doesn't matter what happens, it's immediately swept away because people just need to keep moving in this city. So I don't know, this feels very familiar in a lot of ways. Those are my thoughts so far. I don't know why I'm sharing my thoughts after one chapter, but like, it was fresh, you know? I'm gonna keep reading and try not to compare this to Lock Every Door. I'm gonna try really, really, really hard. It's funny because I thought this was gonna be like the Paris apartment. It's not. It's Lock Every Door. So that's it. Whose idea was this again? Whose idea? Whose? Y'all, I am struggling to keep my eyes open right now. So I paused the timer so that I can like take a lap, splash some water on my face. I don't know, something. I have 8 hours left, which means that I've already read 27 hours, which is more than 24 hours. So, yay me. I've already completed like a 24-hour challenge, but I still have 8 hours left. This is the part where I crack. I keep thinking about how like lovely it would be to lay down in my bed and close my eyes. That's not what we're here to do. We're here to read. It's definitely slower moving reading a new book, new to me book, but I'm having a good time with this. It's definitely interesting, intriguing. Where am I? I'm 230 pages in, over halfway. I should be able to finish it soon, but like it's definitely taking much longer than like rereading something that I'm familiar with, because I'm like trying to like piece everything together, especially with like something like this where you're trying to figure out what the fuck is going on, because what is going on? I have no idea. It is definitely no longer feeling like Lock Every Door. Actually, what it's kind of reminding me of a little bit, although not at all, is Only Murders in the Building, the TV show. Like, that's like farcical and satirical, and like this is definitely not supposed to be that, but like it's just giving me similar vibes of her like going around trying to like figure shit out and like talking to the other neighbors about stuff, trying to like figure out like what's happening. I am not making literally any sense. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go splash some water on my face and like do a couple laps around the apartment to try and like refresh myself, because this little hole that I've like been in for this entire readathon pretty much, it's getting to be too comfy for my own good. So that's the update. It's what, did I even say what time it is? It's 10 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock and I have 8 hours left. And I really want to go to bed, but I also don't like, I feel like I want to prove to myself that I can do it. And like giving in now when I've come so far, like I just said, I read 27 hours already. Like I feel like I can't give up now, because then that 27 hours feels like it's for nothing. But also, how interesting is this video even going to be if I could barely like make coherent sentences? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I guess I'm gonna go make a coffee, do something. I'll check in with you later. Wish me luck. Don't let me fall asleep. If you think I'm falling asleep, yell really loud. Okay, thank you. Bye. I finished The New Couple in 5B. I'm like fairly certain that the last like 3 chapters I had to read and reread and reread because I was just doing this the whole time. I was trying so hard to focus, and then I would get like 2 sentences in and just do this. Like, but I finished it, which is exciting. That's book 8. I have 6.5 hours left. Can you see that? Sure. I really don't know if I'm going to make it. I so badly want to keep going, but like I cannot keep my eyes open. I definitely got a second wind, enough to finish like another 150 pages, but like I can't even imagine reading another book right now. So I don't know what to do. I feel like all of you are like shouting at me to stop being ridiculous and just go to sleep, because I feel like nobody but me will care if I do that. All right, I'm sitting up. Here's the problem. I don't want to drag this into tomorrow, because tomorrow what do I need to do tomorrow? I need to get my nails done, go to the pharmacy, and pack, because I'm going to Connecticut for the weekend to visit family and stuff. So like I can't like just sleep all day tomorrow, and I can't read all day tomorrow. Let me think. If I go to bed now and I wake up at like 6, like if I go get 6 hours of sleep, let's think this through. Then when I wake up, I could read until noon and I'd be done. And I'd still have the rest of the day to get things done. Guys, I feel like I'm failing you, but I think that's what I'm gonna have to do. I think I have to go to bed. Because like there's no point of even trying to read another book if like I'm not gonna comprehend any of it, you know? Like that defeats the purpose of reading, obviously. I made it 29 hours. That's pretty good. Although I did sleep for 2 hours, so I technically already failed. Also, like, I just drank, oh my god. I just drank that whole Illuminae. It didn't do anything. Like, not a thing. I could have another one, or I could make a coffee, but will that do anything? Like, at this point, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'm gonna choose a book. I don't know which book. I'm gonna choose a book. I'm gonna bring it with me to my bed. And maybe just walking there will like wake me up enough to do some more. But if I start drifting off again, we're letting it happen. And I'm gonna set an alarm for the morning, and we'll finish this tomorrow. And I'm so sorry. I'm sorry to myself that I'm throwing in the towel. But I just like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm sleepy. I'm so tired. Alright, so that's the plan, Stan. I guess I can take you with me to figure out what book. I don't know which one I want. Oh, I should tell you about this. Okay, so this book, it was really good for like 90% of it, but then ending was awful. The like things that I thought maybe were happening, all were true. So nothing was really surprising. And then the one thing that I didn't see coming, which was not like a twist, it was more like the why behind things. It was so thin, it made no sense. It made no sense. Like no sense. I've said this a couple times already, but like I hate comparing it. I hate comparing any book to another book because like that's not fair. That's not fair to this book. But it just so happens that I read this right after rereading Lock Every Door, right? And like they could not be compared. They should not be compared because they are not the same premise. They are not the same plot. But there's a lot about them that's similar. And the twist in Lock Every Door and like the reason and what's actually going on that you're trying to figure out the whole time, like when you finally figure it out, it's like, what the fuck? Whereas this, I was like, that's it? That's it? I don't know. I feel like I have to read other people's reviews because like also, like I said, I was like dozing a little bit in in and out, so it took me like half an hour just to get through the last like 10 pages. So maybe I missed something. I don't know. I have to think about a rating. I was like fully gonna give it like a 4.5 up until the ending, and then that like lowered it by like a full star, I feel like. I think I'm gonna sit on it and I'm gonna decide tomorrow when I like wrap up this video. Okay. The last like chunk of this video is just gonna be me yawning. Not reading, not talking, just sitting here with a camera on my face while I yawn. Oh, I've been up too long. Like, nothing is real. This is not real. None of it's real. All right, what should I read, guys? What should I read? I don't know if I want to do another thriller. Like, I'm not really in the mood for a romance, and my brain is definitely not capable of a fantasy. I can tell you that much. I think what I'm saying is I'm not in the mood for anything. Maybe I'll try The Return of Ellie Black, or Diavola, or You Know What You Did, or Happy Medium, or The Paradise Pro. I'm just listing all of them now. Or Evocation. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I love how nothing I'm reading for this video is on my TBR, like for the month. All right, let's spin a freaking wheel. And whatever happens, happens. My camera battery is gonna die. Oh my God, it's gonna die. It is. Okay, I got You Know What You Did. So we're gonna take that with us to the bedroom and we'll see what we can get done. And if we fall asleep, I'll see you in the morning.
You know that I'm thinking about you all the time. Like when we were driving in our car, looking at the stars, made us stop at every bar we found. I can see us like a movie in my head. I only wish I didn't have to watch the end. I try to focus on a different part, like when you play guitar, always singing me that song from Friends. Is this how it's supposed to be? 'Cause breaking up with you has got the best of me.
This light is not good. Let's move you over here, except then I guess I could sit down. Why am I like acting like I don't do that every day? Come down here with me. Oh my God, I'm so unprepared. I don't even have like a nice background happening. Can you tell I'm awake again? And I'm feeling much better. Much better. I let myself sleep. So I might have failed the challenge, but like, did I really fail? Because like, look at how much I read already. So I don't know what my hair's doing. This is not good. Things are happening. Things are happening. That's not what I wanted. Let's chat. So here's the deal. I think the last time I talked to you, I decided to read You Know What You Did. I was absolutely out of my mind. I could not stop yawning. And I decided to move to the bedroom to see if I could get any more reading done, but I also kind of threw in the towel and I was like, you know what? It's not happening. It's the staying up until 5 was just not gonna happen. So here's what you missed. I did get in bed. I did not end up taking You Know What You Did. I ended up taking Diavola because, hear me out, it's a horror. And I thought maybe it'll scare me enough that I won't be able to sleep. That didn't work. I think I made it to like 1 a.m. and I tapped out. I called it quits. I was like, I'm going to bed and I am not even setting an alarm. We're just gonna wake up when we wake up. I am going to catch up on my sleep so that I can finish this readathon off strong. So when I paused the timer, I think I had like 5 hours left, 5.5 hours left. I don't know. I definitely think I took footage, but I don't know how much time I had left. This morning when I woke up, I made a coffee, I sat down. I did not feel prepared to turn on the camera at that time. So I just sat down with my coffee in private and I finished this. It was good, but also very confusing. I have a lot of questions and I think that that's something that really only horror can do that I don't mind. Like I finished it and I was like, That's it? What? And like, I feel like if this was like a different genre, I would have been annoyed that I didn't have all the answers. But in this instance, I was not. It was really good. I loved the setting. This is a book about a haunted villa in Tuscany and a family on vacation who only the daughter, the main character, Anna, is really noticing all of the hauntings, and her family is acting like she's crazy. And then some shit hits the fan and they all kind of flee. But then she goes back to New York and tries to talk to her family, and they're still acting like nothing happened. So like, it's definitely not realistic. It's a horror, right? However, it felt so realistic. Like, I appreciated the fact that a lot of times in books like this, especially with haunted houses, you find people like stay for no, like, you're like, why are you staying? All these crazy things are happening. Most people would run away, and these people just like stay and do nothing about it. But in this instance, she was like, no, I'm fucking out of here. I don't even want to be in Italy. I'm going back to New York. I'm done. And I appreciated that because it felt realistic. Obviously, that was like not the end of the story in any way, shape, or form. I think I'm going to give it 4 stars. Also, I sat on my rating for The New Couple in 5B this morning too, because I was really thinking about like, was I annoyed with the ending because I was like not in my right state of mind? I don't think that was it, but I do think that it would be disingenuous to say that it's lower than a 4 star, because despite the ending, everything else about it I love and couldn't get enough of. So I'm gonna give it a 4. Here I go again, being very generous with my ratings. It's my brand. It's what you signed up for. So Diavola, it's Italian. I think it's Italian for, no, Diavola is devil. Maybe no, but in Italian it's Diavola. In Spanish is Diavola. Dude, I have no idea what I'm talking about. I think it's Diavola, but I also kept saying Diavola. So I don't know where the, what's the word? Emphasis is on. I don't know which syllable the emphasis belongs on, but it doesn't matter. That was my 9th book. And I have 3 hours and 40 minutes left of this little challenge. It would probably be unrealistic to expect that I can finish another book, but also it's possible. Like, depending on the book, it's possible. If I vibe with the writing style and it goes quick, I don't know. The question is, what the fuck am I gonna read now? Like, seriously. I actually have no idea what I'm in the mood for. Let's grab them. All right, so I left that one over there because it looked thick. Here's the thing I have to decide. Do I want to choose what I think is the shortest like page count? Do I want to choose what I think might be the easiest genre? Or do I want to choose like what I'm in the mood for? Problem with that, I don't know. The Paradise Problem, right? Christina Lauren, very familiar with their writing, so that should be a quick read. It's only 336 pages with nice big font. That's doable. That's a contender. 5 Broken Blades, too thick. The Return of Ellie Black. Only 300 pages. Beautiful. That's a possibility. You Know What You Did. 370. That's a maybe. That's a maybe. And then Evocation. So this is definitely the shortest book I have. It might need more brain power than I'm willing to participate in. I'm going to spin between these 4. Whatever happens, happens. Because I don't know that I'm going to finish a book either way. So The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren. How fitting, because we read another Christina Lauren in this video. So this is the last one. Definitely the prettiest cover. Definitely the most me-coded cover that I have. My plan, not that you asked, my plan is to hopefully get this video up on my birthday. However, you and I both know how plans go, and considering I have like 5 vlogs just sitting half-edited in my computer right now, who's to say if I'll be able to push this one out as quickly as I would like, but that's my plan. And so technically this is a birthday video, and so technically we should read this because it's a pretty cover. That makes no sense. This is going to be our final book, and we'll see if we can finish it by the time the clock runs out. We have more energy. We had a nice sleep. We have no regrets on that decision. Let's see if we can do one final book. Wish me luck.
I used to wake up with you by my side, and I would hold you close, look into your eyes. I used to wake up with you by my side, and I would hold you close, close. Tell me now, 'cause I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I just wanna be right next to you. Even though I try to get you off my mind, You know that I'm thinking about you all the time. Like when we were driving in our car, looking at the stars, made us stop at every bar we found. I can see it's like a movie in my head. I only wish I didn't have to watch the end. I try to focus on a different part, like when you play guitar, always singing me that song from Friends. Ooh.
Tell me how I knew it was coming and I still jumped. Tell me how. As you can see, I did not finish. I tried so hard, but I still have about 100 pages left of, what is this called? The Paradise Problem. I tried, I really did, but it just wasn't happening. So, first of all, I still have 100 pages left, but I am absolutely loving this book. If things stay the way they are now, this is a 5-star. Obviously, the 35 hours is over, so I'm not going to finish this in this video. Here's what I'll do. Editing me will put the rating here. That's my final rating, whatever that says. So good. It's so good. I had no idea what it was about. I'm eating it up. Eating it up. I honestly love both the characters. It's a 5-star so far, but who knows? You know, I still have 100 pages left. So that is the last book for this video because we have been reading officially for 35 hours. Round of applause. Now, did it take me 2 days, 48 hours to complete the 35 hours? It did. And I would apologize, but I think for me, the challenge of like doing it straight, that was like super fun, but I think more so it was how many books can I read within this time span. And I think that if I hadn't taken the time to rest, I wouldn't have been able to complete as many books as I did. So in that instance, in that case, I feel like I did succeed. That's the end of this challenge and that's the end of this video. My plan is hopefully to get this edited and posted on my actual birthday. We'll see if that happens. I don't have a lot of faith in myself at the moment, but we're gonna do our best. So it's a cop. Not an ambulance, a cop. Just like randomly pressing the button. I feel like he's like letting his son ride along and like the son's like pressing the button. NYPD, what are you gonna do? What was I saying? Oh yeah, I don't know how much footage I have. I feel like I have a lot and I don't know how long it's gonna take me to edit. And I am going away literally tomorrow morning for the weekend. So basically, I can't guarantee this is going up on my birthday. But also, you guys don't even know what my birthday is, do you? So you wouldn't even know if I do or not. It's the 22nd. Either way, I read for 35 hours for my 35th birthday. It took me 48 hours. I read 9, almost 10 books in that time. That's pretty damn good. I reread 7 of my favorite books that I've never reread, and they pretty much mostly all lived up to the hype. So that was super fun, and it was like fun to take time out of like my normal TBR to like reread some favorites, even though it's like so anxiety inducing because I'm like, I have so many unread books that I want to read. I should allow myself to reread more. And so that was really fun to have an excuse to do that. And I read 3 new books. So, is that right? Yeah, I'll go shoot a shot of that stack, but I'm quite impressed with myself. I definitely don't think that I would do this again, at least not like this. I think if I had more time to devote, maybe the next time I would do it in like 12-hour chunks instead of 18 and 17-hour chunks, because I think that like 12 hours is more realistic a day and then having a break between that. But you live and you learn. And I've learned that I am old and therefore require sleep every night. So for any of you who were placing bets at the beginning of this video of whether or not I'd be able to do this, you were right and I was wrong. It's fine. It was super fun though. I got a ton of reading done, literally 10 books. Like, that's like an entire month's worth of reading I got done in basically 2 days. So that is awesome. And I read some really good books. Actually, I read a lot of really good books. I read all really good books. What am I talking about? What am I kidding? Now I need to go move on with my life. I need to go get my sleep schedule back in order. I need to go get my nails done. I need to go pack and get ready to go to Connecticut, which I think I'm gonna film. So there may be another vlog coming. We'll see. But I need to go do all those things, which means I need to turn the camera off and get going. So that's the end of this video. I appreciate all of you so much if you stuck around to watch this, whatever this turned into. I appreciate all of you. If any of you are celebrating your birthday in May, happy birthday. If any of you are Gemini, like me, happy Gemini season. And if you want to leave an emoji in the comments, you can leave like this little pink flower. I think there's one in the emojis, like a Hawaiian looking ink flower. Although this takes place in Indonesia, so this isn't a Hawaiian flower. Anyway, that's not the point. If you want to leave an emoji in the comments, if you're still here, you can leave a little pink flower. And I will see you guys in another video very soon. Hopefully. Bye.